Hello, and welcome to another free edition of Superhero Academy's Classroom. We are super excited to be talking to you guys today and very excited to help you guys commit to your mission. So some of the students will be joining in just a couple of seconds, so we'll give a second for people to be a part of it. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Let's see how many people show up here today. Last minute promotion. You never know. You never know. Do you guys hear me? You still hear me all right? Yeah? You hear me good, Yannick? All right. I see M, I see Melanie, and I see Joey. Hey guys, how's it going? Let's give a couple of moments just for some people to maybe slide in. I know this is a last minute invitation to, doing this free class. We're just kind of throwing this together at the last second. I don't know. Just felt like getting on air and helping some people out today. So, how are you guys doing tonight? How are you guys doing? Where are you guys from? Hmm. I don't see the chat for some reason. Do you see it, Yannick? You do? Hmm. I'm not seeing any of the answers. That's strange. Oh, it's loading like really slow in the background. Hmm. All right, guys, we're going to get started in just a second. We're going to let a couple new people show up. There's a few of you guys just entering in now. Philip or Shoshana. Ooh, Shosh, how's it going? How are you? uh, nice, beautiful day out here in Montreal. It was actually kind of rainy, but I just got back from a trip to Utah. So I'm a little bit tired. You might appear as the bags under my eyes here for a second, but don't mind that. I slept in an airport last night and on planes and stuff. I had quite the journey getting home. So, but I still felt like coming home and doing something like this and doing this kind of class. So very excited about that. Adelaide, Australia. Wow. And New Zealand. Whoa. That is incredible. You guys are from super far away.
Morning.
It is, yeah, it's like first thing in the morning there. Wow. That's super awesome. I love Australia. I haven't been to New Zealand yet, but I'm definitely going to go at some point soon. Very excited about that. So where did you guys see this? Did you guys see the you guys heard of Valhalla before and stuff? Is that something you guys have been following, or is it through some of these other pages like Collective Evolution or Overgrow the System or whatever that you guys discovered this class right now? Hmm. The chat room is really buggy for me. Okay, well, I'm gonna give it one more minute before we kick off here, and then we will dive in. We will dive in, and I'll tell you a little bit about my story. I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm doing, what Valhalla is, what we've been up to, and we can take it from there. Just in 30 more seconds. I know there's some last minute posts, so Some people, some people will be showing up a little bit late. Also, just so you guys know, I will answer any one of your questions at any moment. So you guys can just type them. And my buddy Yannick here, who's a systems architect at Valhalla and also at Superhero Academy, will be kind of listening to your questions. He'll be sending some of these questions to me directly via a separate chat system so that I get them as soon as possible. So any questions that you guys have, for whatever reason, I'm going to try and answer all of those at the end, and we can kind of take it from there. And I'd be happy to answer anything about Valhalla, but I have to answer anything about Earthships or permaculture or entrepreneurship or Superhero Academy or anything. Okay, so I'm here to I'm just here to spread some knowledge. That's what Superhero Academy is all about. Really, I started this as a school to empower everyday superheroes. I believe that the world needs more people like you guys to start movements, to create kind of organizations or companies or whatever it might be that is going out there and changing the paradigm, changing society, making things kind of the way that we know is possible in our hearts, right? There's so much opportunity out there, and we need more people to go out there and seize it. We need more people to kind of get out of their 9-to-5s and these jobs and careers that they're not really happy and passionate about, and instead step into their passion, step into what they would love to do, and make that kind of stuff happen. So I've spent many years doing this kind of stuff. I've been an entrepreneur for 9+ years now, and it's literally been the best kind of journey ever. I call it a journey because it's not a career for me. It really is a journey. It's a constant learning curve and evolution that I'm kind of walking down at all times. And maybe 8:06. Yeah, let's dive right in. So I want to start off today by telling you a little bit about my story and how I got to where I am today, how I kind of committed to my mission, and how it was actually kind of scary and unclear at times, right? Because we all want to have our missions kind of play out. We all want to be on a path of purpose. But at the same time, it's often kind of hard to know what to commit to, what to do, or where to start. And I know I felt that way a couple of years ago when I had just kind of graduated from school. I graduated in marketing and entrepreneurship, although I had started in finance and accounting, which I hated. And what I realized is that at school, at university, I learned absolutely nothing that I actually cared about. Okay, like I really kind of learned more about what I didn't want to do than what I did want to do. And that was kind of disenfranchising for me because I was kind of under the impression that on the path you would go to school and you'd figure it out, and then eventually you come out and you get a job and you figure, you live your life that way and you pay your mortgage and you do all the kind of normal quote unquote things in life. But it didn't seem appealing to me at all. And what I realized is that it was all kind of a sham. They weren't really teaching us any tangible skills in school, and they also weren't teaching us about a whole bunch of really important stuff that was happening on our planet. See, my education actually came from a year that I spent, number one, traveling, and number two, watching a documentary every single week. I watched a documentary every single week for one entire year. And I actually watched more than 52 documentaries that year, but I made sure to watch at least one a week. And I learned about every single little detail that was, whether it be like overfishing or the vanishing of the bees, whether it be about where money came from and how this big paradigm and kind of system that was completely corrupt and full of crap on that front. I learned about just where, the problems with water and the problems with oil, the problems with war and education and the rising costs of education and stuff like that. And I started to realize that, wow, we're really kind of going down a path that was very scary. And needless to say, that year was pretty depressing. It was actually kind of rage-inducing. But I kind of turned that rage into motivation. I decided that, at the end of the day, while I was watching these documentaries, there was so much great information, but there was so few people on so few documentaries that were kind of showing you the real solutions that you can get behind and how you can actually tangibly help these different problems, right? They were so great at painting all the problems for, a 2 hour long documentary. And then they'll spend like 10 minutes at the end being like, there's a better way, and never really get clear on how that happens. And I recognize that a lot of people have that problem. I recognize that I was having that problem, but I decided at that point that I had to do something. And so I kind of went a little crazy. I went out and bought a piece of land, a 60-acre piece of land, actually, just south of Montreal, about 20 minutes away from the downtown core, bordering suburbia. And that piece of land, I walked out there, and the only thing I knew how to do is I knew that we should plant more trees. So I walked out there, planted an apple tree, and literally the rest is history. At that point, Valhalla was born. This is in, so I watched the documentaries in 2010. I ended up buying and kind of looking at the land in 2011, and we started in 2012. And so this is less than 3 years ago, or just about 3 years ago, when I just walked out there. I'd never heard of permaculture. I never heard of earthships and alternative construction. Obviously, I knew about solar panels and these different things, but I had never actually practiced or done any of this stuff. And I just knew I had to start. I just knew I had to commit. I knew that that was the first step, right? I knew that was the first step to me being empowered to making a difference. So when I started the Valhalla movement, I didn't even know it was going to be a nonprofit organization. I didn't have any intention of having any businesses surrounding it. All I knew is that I just had to do something. And I think that many people are out there in the world today looking for the right time, looking for the right moment or opportunity, and you're waiting. You're sitting here and you're waiting for that perfect moment to jump, or waiting for you to graduate from school, or waiting for you to get a raise at your job, or waiting for some other external thing to happen before you're going to take action and step into the things that you really want to do, this time you really want to spend, and the energy that you really want to kind of combine into some of your own passions. But I also believe that you know what you're passionate about. I know that you understand deep in your core what you're happy doing, what you're happy to wake up every day and do if you had the opportunity. And yet there's a disconnect for some reason. There's a disconnect between people who know what they want to do and are actually physically doing it. And a lot of that comes from, our fear of money and investing in kind of like what we call, and this is known as ROI, right? What's the investment that I'm making by spending my time doing something, and what am I getting out of it financially in the end? And I think that's a really bad, poor choice of investment. To think about your own life, your own passion, and investing in a way of a return on investment kind of mentality, a kind of financial mentality, and picking your career and picking what you do based on finance is never going to lead to you making the decision that is going to make you happiest, that is going to make you the most successful, measured in all senses of the word. So not just wealth, but also in networks, in kind of love, in compassion, in happiness, in every sense of the word. I believe that if you commit to your mission, and if you invest in the other ROI, which I like to call ripple of impact, that you are going to feel way more empowered by what you do. And I know that happened for me with Valhalla. I know that when Valhalla was just starting out, we moved into this house and we started building this piece of land, and we were moving towards building the sustainability learning center on our land, and started learning about permaculture and earthships and all these things. I wasn't doing this as a job. I was doing this because I was passionate. I wasn't waiting to go to school or to read some book to get my education. I was actively participating in it. I was actively participating in the impact and the investment in that impact that I was going to make for the world and for the universe, and to be a part of the actual solutions that I wasn't hearing enough about in some of these documentaries. So I decided to jump. I decided to jump off that cliff and to move into something that I really didn't know and couldn't really define or coin. But I gotta say, it was probably the best decision I've ever made. It is definitely the most empowering, exhilarating feeling when you jump into something that you've never done before. And at the same time, I absolutely knew it was the right thing to do. At the same time, I absolutely knew that no matter what it was going to be, no matter where this path was going to go, I had to walk it. Okay. And I think you knew too. I don't even think, I know you do too. I know that you are in the position where you want to be empowered, where you want to commit to these things. And I know that there's a secret way of actually being able to be 42% more likely to achieve your dreams. 42% more likely to achieve your dreams if you do this one action step, one simple step, and yet so few people are doing it. See, what I did when I was kind of brainstorming where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do back in 2010, I actually went on this trip. I went on a journey. I had just sold my first business. I was an indoor skate park here in Montreal. I had ran it for 3 years. I was working full time and running the company full time, and I was going to school full time. And then the second I graduated, I actually sold this company and I went traveling. And I went to the Great Wall of China. I actually went to Australia. I went to China. And on the Great Wall, I had this kind of like download from the universe. I know that sounds so cliche and weird, but I actually kind of did. Like I just had this huge moment of inspiration that came over me. And I decided to make what I call an impossible list. So an impossible list is different than a bucket list in the sense that it is a list of challenges that I am taking on and that I'm going to achieve and I'm going to work towards over the next couple of years or over my lifetime, basically, in all different aspects of my life. So whether it be my health, whether it be my contribution to community, whether it be career-wise, whether it be lifestyle, whether it be adrenaline rush or kind of an adrenaline junkie side of things, all the different things that I was going to challenge myself to do that I felt might have been impossible or improbable at least, but weren't really, right? So like for example, one of them was to become a scuba dive instructor by the time I'm 40. Well, that's not impossible. Of course not. I mean, it exists, but I wasn't probably going to do it unless I had done this one thing, which is that I wrote it down. You see, that day on the Great Wall, I spent about an hour making this impossible list. And year after year, every single year on my birthday, which is actually tomorrow, every single year, I actually rewrite or kind of add to my impossible list and check off some of the different items and kind of update it regularly. And in this impossible list, I wrote everything down. And you know how I was saying you could be 42% more likely to achieve your dreams? Well, if you write it down, and write it down not in any format, but in a very specific way, you are actually scientifically proven to be 42% more likely to achieve your dreams. I mean, I don't know what else you can do in the world that is going to make you gain 42% more likelihood of actually taking a step towards what you want to do in your life than writing it, than doing something like this simple. It doesn't get easier than this, folks, right? All you need to do is take out a pen and paper and write it down. So if you've got a pen and paper around you right now, or even if you don't, I want you to take 10 seconds just to think about it, okay? Think about just 2 or 3 things that you really want to achieve, 2 or 3 things that you would really love to see manifest in your life, and just kind of write those down and be specific, okay? Because I know a lot of people have this kind of mentality of like, well, I don't really know what I want to do, but I know I want to help people. Okay, how? How do you want to help people? But before how, we're gonna learn something beyond such. But I just want you to let that sit there and kind of percolate in your mind for a second. I'm just gonna grab a sip of water here. So let that just kind of sit in your mind. So thinking about what are the things that you want to do that would make you feel empowered, that would make you feel like you are moving towards your dreams or your purpose. 1, 2, 3 items max, okay? 3 items tops. And they can be interrelated. They can be totally separate. They can be, related to your career. They can be related to your lifestyle. They can be to start a movement or run a nonprofit. They can be anything. Okay. So I know when I wrote my impossible list, it created this motivation. It created a to-do list, right? This challenge list was a to-do, so that when I would wake up in the morning and I had no job at the time, I had nothing more than just traveling and kind of an open schedule at that moment, I can start kind of piecing together and making a plan for me to move forward. Now, I know what a lot of people are asking. Well, okay, I kind of know what I want to do, or I fully know exactly what I want to do, but how do I do it? And I think that is an improper question. I think that question, in fact, leads to more confusion, to more problems, to more kind of more issues that surround our purpose and what that means. And the truth is that what we should really be doing is thinking about things in this way. There's a 4-step process that I feel is very empowering to getting you to where you want to be, to getting you to your goal. Okay. And that process does not start with the how, but more so with the why. You see, why you do something is everything. When you tell a story, when you hear about something, when you watch a movie, when you buy something in any way, shape, or form, we are always motivated by the why. We're constantly motivated by the fact that at the end of the day, we love to hear a story. We love to be a part of something that is bigger than us. We love to see and be a part of somebody's mission. That's why things like crowdfunding work so well. That's why so many social movements spring up. That's why movements like Gandhi or MLK and all these things made real change. And we see those people not as kind of successful people in the traditional sense of like an entrepreneur type success, but more so as inspiring leaders. See, and I don't know about you, but I want to be an inspiring leader in my life. I don't just want to have success in the form of dollars and cents. Yes, of course, I need some version of wealth, and of course, I will attract all of those things, and that's important. But I really want to do is actually make people feel the mission. And see, I was saying this earlier for some of you guys who just joined. I started Superhero Academy to make people like you be everyday superheroes. I am most empowered by the fact that people like you can go out there and take on a mission and actually change the world in the way that you see fit. And for me, it was about building a sustainability learning center. It was surrounding education. I wanted to kind of reinvent how we do our housing, and we're working on sustainable eco homes now. And we've got a team of architects and engineers. I wanted to build a marketing company and team that helped for-purpose businesses and that helped social enterprises make their message grow and get their products and services out there. And so I've spent the last kind of, I want to say 7 years doing that kind of stuff. Okay. And through that came Valhalla, through that came Superhero Academy, through that came all of the awesome things that are happening and percolating in my life. And it's all because I really did not start with what I was doing and how I was doing it, but I started with why. See, I embarked on a mission and I told people about that mission. Because no matter what your dream is, no matter what you wrote down on the piece of paper or let sit in your mind, that dream is not something that you do alone. We are in a world surrounded by people, and these people are here to help. These people are there to be a part of your journey. And we wouldn't take on this journey if it weren't for the fact that we have our friends and family and the people who surround us that we love and care for, that were supporting us and that are kind of seeing our progress and that are kind of there to enjoy the fruits of our labor, whether physically or metaphorically, right? If you, I didn't start Valhalla just to build my own home. I started it to change the face of sustainability, to make sustainability sexy and mainstream. And that's why we made a beautiful website. And that's why we got a whole bunch of people excited about all these different alternative buildings. That's why we took on permaculture. That's why we made this public space that people can come and people do come every single week to visit. That's why our website is growing, because we didn't lead with what we do and how we do it. We led with why we do it. And that's inspiring. That's inspiring. And I'm sure that what you guys are doing is just as inspiring. I'm sure that your missions and what you would love to put your passion and time and effort into is also as inspiring. So I challenge you guys not to ask yourself first about what you want to do, but actually why you want to do it. I want to know why you feel that it is important to do the things that you are you're setting out to do. From there, I would love to see you guys get clearer on the second step, which is the what. So most people are get stuck on trying to figure out what they want to do and how they're going to get there and how they're going to make money and living off of it. But again, you have to start with the why. And then once you have that why, once you have that global mission, and I want you to absorb that for a second. Once you understand that mission, you can then step into what fits within that mission. What are the things that you can do? What is a task or a mission that you can embark on that will achieve this mission? You know, this is exactly the specific kind of mission, and somewhat the why is actually kind of more of the vision, right? It's the world that you want to create. It's the manifestation that you want to see happen, and the what is how you're going is the kind of the physical, tangible action step or career path or whatever that you're going to take on to make that happen. Now, I'm not asking you to make this decision based on return on investment, right? I don't want you guys to think about the ROI that comes out of like, oh, I want to be a doctor because they make a lot of money. I want to be a lawyer because they make a lot of money. No, you want to be a lawyer because you want to help people in sticky situations and make sure to be on the right side of justice. You want to be a doctor because you really want to help people be cured of their illnesses and actually find real medicines to be able to kind of stay as healthy and as empowered as possible. See, if that's why you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, then this is the right alignment. You are going to feel fulfilled with the jobs that you have and take on. But if you're doing something because of return on investment versus ripple of impact, you're not going to be happy doing it. You're going to get to the point where you're going to have some midlife crisis or just feel disenfranchised with what you're putting your day and time into. Your time and energy into. Okay, and every single day, your time is the most valuable resource that you have, right? Your time is everything when it comes to making something happen in the world, and it's everything that you possibly have, because we don't know when this time is up. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know that the sun is going to rise. It's very probable, but all we truthfully have is the now. All we truthfully have is right here and right now. And I wear this watch as a reminder. I wear this watch as a reminder to the fact that life is temporary. And whether there's an afterlife or not, I don't know. Okay, and I'm not going to pretend to know, but what I know is that I have right here and right now to achieve my dreams, to achieve this vision, to embark on a mission that is really going to change the world. And then once I've committed to it, because the commitment happens here, okay, then all the other things happen. Here's where you commit, and everything else starts to unlock for the next step, which is the how. You see, we get so caught up in how we're going to do something. How is it going to pay our bills? And we're thinking about this step before really figuring out exactly what we want to do, and more importantly, why we want to do it. You see, if you lead with your story and express why you want to do something, you're going to start to see a whole lot of feelings and emotions and a lot of other people getting excited about what you're explaining. But when's the last time you went up to somebody, just explained them what you did and how you did it, and you asked somebody the question of like, oh, what do you do? And you were truthfully all that amazed, right? Well, if somebody just told you, oh, I work at this place, I'm, doing this for a job and I don't really care, it's not inspiring. You move on. The topic goes on to some other thing, and maybe you discuss sports or you discuss some whatever event or happenings that are going on, or whatever other topics, but you don't stay and talk about that. Whereas when somebody asks me what I do, I first of all, I never answer the question directly. I always say, I'll tell you what I do, but first let me tell you why I do it. And by telling them why I do it, by telling them my story, by telling them either starting at, this time I was on the Great Wall of China and wrote an impossible list, or the year I spent watching a whole bunch of documentaries, or just the mission of what Valhalla is, or Superhero Academy, or whatever I choose. No matter where I start, as long as I started with my vision and kind of the mission behind that, the conversation stays in this realm. And we kind of discuss this stuff further and further. And actually, by meeting people and talking to people like you guys, is exactly how these movement is born. You see, the Valhalla movement isn't just about what I do or Yannick here does as a member of Valhalla, but it's about all the other people who are paying attention and whether you guys are making those life choices and changes for yourself. The Valhalla movement is a movement because we are here to empower you to step up into these missions, into what you guys need to do, and then help you find the how you can make this happen, how you can live this reality, because it is possible. I am not somebody that is incredibly special, that just, was super fortunate to just have like all of this download happen in some lottery-like format where I was just sitting there twiddling my thumbs waiting for stuff to happen. Really, what I did is I acted now. I acted right here and right now. I decided that the fourth step was that I just had to commit and jump into something right now. And that all started with me changing my story to fit my vision. Me adopting and figuring out the how, one small step at a time and one small moment at a time. I believe that success is not measured in dollars or cents and is not found in any other secret way beyond doing one thing every single day. One thing every single day that moves you closer to the mission that you wrote down. If you commit to a mission and you pick it, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't mean it's not going to change, okay? And you write it down, and then you start moving towards it every single day. You start moving towards that mission by changing your story, by figuring out slowly but surely, one step at a time, all these different things. And then by acting every single day in the now, every single moment in that present towards that mission, you will find the path. You will find the way to get there. Like I said, I had never heard of permaculture. I had never heard of earthships. I knew nothing about sustainability. I never set up a solar panel. I knew nothing about engineering or building eco-construction. I knew nothing about marketing when I started my marketing company. I knew nothing about anything when it comes to education or running webinars or any of this stuff. All of these things are things I've learned. And in fact, everything that you know, you've learned. Everything that everyone else knows, they've learned. And if they've learned it, so can you. If they've learned it, so can you go out there and make this stuff happen. But the truth is that nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to go out there and commit to your mission and vision to make what you want to see happen. Who's going to show you exactly how all of this stuff needs to go down, and is going to make you have that reality right now. The only way is that you commit to being your own hero. The only way is that you commit your time and energy and you step into this right here and right now. Not later, not at some other moment where you think that this is going to be the right time to empower yourself or whatever the hell that is, okay? Right here and right now, there is no excuse to not moving towards your mission every single day. Now, moving towards your mission does not have to mean you have to quit everything you're doing right at this moment. What it means, though, is that are you going to take that step every day, one step every day to move yourself closer to your vision and to your mission? And are you committed to doing that? So I have an offer for you. I've done this many, many, many times now. I currently run 4 organizations, one of which is the Valhalla Movement and a nonprofit, one of which is Superhero Academy, one of which is this eco-housing designs that we're going to be launching in September. That is kind of a really, really very excited to talk to you guys about that. Maybe we can answer some of these questions in the Q&A after. And one of which is the for-purpose marketing company that I started a couple of years ago. And all of these companies have literally changed my life. And every day I do one thing for each one of these organizations, one thing to make each one of these movements move forward. And in that, I've learned a lot about storytelling. I've learned a lot about how to build an audience. I've learned a lot about how to do things like crowdfunding. I've learned a lot about how to understand who you're speaking to figure out a way to deliver happiness and make people smile. I've learned so many awesome things that I've spent so many hours, so countless amounts of dollars. I've spent years with coaches and different mentors and people in all walks of life. And I've invested every ounce of energy into this, and I'm willing to teach you guys this. I'm willing to make you guys an offer to help you guys be your own hero. But the truth is that I can't take that step for you. I cannot commit for you. I can help you get clearer on your mission and vision. I can show you how to do it, and I can help you find a way to schedule into your daily routine and kind of take over your life so that you can find a way to earn a living doing such. And I believe that there are a couple of key, crucial, essential steps really to earning a living as a social entrepreneur, to earning a living running a movement or a nonprofit organization or whatever storyline that you want to go down. And I want to offer you guys that today. So Yannick, can you just send them a link? We have a special offer for a class that you guys can join. There's 2 versions of this class. There's the 8-step class. There's a pre-recorded class where you're going to learn some awesome stuff that Yannick is sending the link for right now. It is superheroacademy.net/be-your-own-hero. And you can learn all kinds of really, really, really interesting stuff. We'll teach everything from the secret formula to telling an engaging story. So how you can make a story that empowers you. We are going to teach you how you can get people engaged in this, right? How do you build a movement? How do you build a big Facebook page and get a following? And so the simple hack of growing a following via documentation. You can learn things like offering value and not just products and services, because people don't want necessarily your product and service. What they want is what it gives them. What they want is value. And I know that you guys have tons of value to be able to promote and to kind of get out and gift out to the world. I also am going to teach you things like avatar building, so knowing who your audience is, branding. So, I've spent years, we run an 18-person marketing team at this point. So how to build a website, how to build logos and graphics and things that are going to communicate some of the messages and missions that you guys are on. Positive associations, collaborations, learn how to price your offers and all that kind of stuff. And also deliver happiness, make people smile. Now, here's the thing. This is an 8-step class, and I did this with another group not long ago, and all of them are thriving. So many of them, some of them are struggling a little bit more than others, and I'm not going to lie, but 4 of them, I've even stepped up into the higher levels of this classroom. One of them, I just got back from Utah literally this morning or this afternoon, and I went out to a festival, an event that one of our students who had taken this class actually built through this process. We were out in the desert. It was this 3-day full weekend festival. I got, paid to go out there and to tell my story and to help people with this because it was so powerful for this woman. For her name is Mindy, and she ran at a festival called the Amari Love Warriors Festival. It just happened just this weekend, and it was so powerful that she was able to get her for-purpose organization off the ground, her for-purpose event off the ground. Now, the other thing is that there's 2 levels. That's the kind of just the 8-week level. But if you guys join to be an apprentice, which is a little bit more of an investment in yourself, you guys have the opportunity to also learn a couple of awesome things that I'm going to be teaching in the next couple of weeks. So from now on, every single week, I'm going to be giving a class like this one. But they're going to be private classes. They're going to be classes that aren't going to be available to the public more so than that one moment. And we're going to teach things like how to build a team, right? Here at the Valhalla Movement, I'm not doing all of this stuff alone. We've done so much stuff with so many different people, and have the luxury of being surrounded by the most empowering, awesome individuals in the planet, and some of the most talented individuals on the planet, like Yannick here, who, we like to call him True, by the way, is his superhero name kind of thing. But like True here, and we've just been able to make so much of our dreams come true because of proper team building. We've also used things like crowdsourcing and crowdfunding to be able to pay for our Earthship greenhouse that we built on the land. So I'm going to be teaching that kind of stuff. I'm going to be teaching web development and what you need to look for in a website, and how you can make a website that's really engaging and that's, simple and clear, and getting people to join in on your movements or your organizations. And we're also going to teach passive income. So those are the next 4 classes I'm going to be teaching. But if you join the apprentice level right now, you pay a one-time lifetime tuition, okay, one-time investment, and you will get access to all the future classes that I am going to do at this level. And there are going to be tons of them. So you're going to get those 8 classes I was talking about, plus these 4 bonus classes are coming in the next month, and way more in the future. And you'll have access for this for life. So if you want to come back and watch this material time and time again, you will have every single moment and opportunity to do such. Okay. All the classes are pre-recorded. So even if you can't make it to the live class or whatever it is when I'm giving these classes, they're all going to be recorded, and all the notes, all the different challenges that are going out every single week that are keeping you guys accountable are all a part of that. So, yeah, I would love to hear, and if you guys have any questions about this, any questions about how you guys can commit to your mission, any questions about that, any uncertainty that you guys might be having, I would love to take this moment right now to answer some of those questions, to help you guys through this, and to find a way that you guys are empowered. So I'm going to take in my time right here, right now. You can ask some of these questions. They're going to be sent out on the side here. And that will kind of work. Athena, so I'm getting some questions. Is this going to be recorded and sent out? Yes, it will. It will be recorded and sent out. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk to you guys about is, if you guys commit to joining something like this, you're not only committing to yourself, but you're also joining a community. So as I was saying, there was also a community of people, of students that have already gone through this class, and we've built this community using a separate chat system called Slack, where people are able to join and support each other. We create little accountability buddies and help out. You guys have access to asking me questions at any time. Okay, you have access directly to myself, to Yannick here, and other teacher assistants that are here. And sorry, I'm going to call them True, and other people's teacher assistants that are part of Superhero Academy and are part of Valhalla as well. So you're not just getting access to these 8 classes. You're not just getting access, if you sign up to the apprentice level, to all future classes as well. From here on out, at this level, all future classes for $500. Like if you sign up, you will never get education this cheap ever. I went to university. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in myself, invested in mistakes and all kinds of different things that I've done over all the years, over all the organizations that I've ever started and run, and that I'm still running. And you can get access to all of that kind of download and ask me questions at any point for an investment of $497. I mean, for an investment in yourself towards committing to your goal and towards what you want to do. Right? This is about you stepping in to your mission, you figuring out very clearly what you want to do, you building a path, building it, not finding it, not waiting for it, building it, literally kind of piecing it together, finding the different things that need to happen, and then adopting that right now. Right? The time is right now, and I know that you are capable. I know that you can make this stuff happen, and the world needs it. The world needs movements like you. The world needs superheroes like you to step up and to make this change, because I know, like me, you've seen troubling articles, documentaries, movies, facts and figures. You've seen what is going on our planet, and you know that these things are unsustainable, and you know that you can make a difference. So what I want to know is, what are you waiting for? Why wait? Why wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity? And why not make that opportunity be right now? Why not consider investing in yourself, investing in your own education, investing in a support network, including myself and all the other people who are joining, and more people are signing up every single day. Why not do that kind of stuff? So what's the question? There's promoted your sustainability learning center and details. I'm having a hard time seeing the questions for whatever reason. They're not popping up. Joey, hey Mark, can you tell us a little bit more about how you promoted your sustainability learning center and maybe some detail on your crowdfunding campaign? So we are going to be promoting the Sustainability Learning Center via our own crowdfunding platform that we're actually building onto our own website starting in September. In September, basically, we are going to be launching these new housing designs, and they're going to be known and called Wisdom Designs, that are eco homes that appeal to two key kind of people beyond all the free-spirited hippie types that, the people like you and I who clearly are down to see this kind of stuff happen, but also appeal to people like my mom, suburban 9-to-5 Italian woman who, had it all, started with nothing, built up a career and built up a lifestyle that, now has everything. But at the same time, we need to build a building that gets somebody like my mom or your mom and the mayor of any town USA, so a politician, to like it. Because if we can convince those two key types of people and those key demographics, then we're going to see an enormous shift happening. We're going to see a lot of people make these different decisions. And the other thing is we have to make it as affordable as possible. We have to inspire people as much as possible. And I believe that there's many ways to run a crowdfunding campaign or to do things that appeal not only to people's kind of charity and for purpose side of things, but also to their own selfish needs, right? We're going to be providing a whole bunch of housing plans, from tiny house plans to medium-sized plans, a whole lot of stuff. And the Sustainability Learning Center is really the test site for such. So we're not just talking about this and putting out plans and not going to do it. We're going to build it. We're going to build a public education center where things like Superhero Academy will physically happen, as well as, online. So not only will these courses be happening online, but this learning center will actually be the physical location where things like, permaculture classes and eco-construction classes and how to start your own social enterprise classes will all be going down. So more than happy to answer any other questions that are coming in as well. I figured out how to move that chat thing now, so I should be able to see it. While we wait for some of these questions to come in, Yannick, do you want to turn on your mic and talk a little bit about your experience having kind of gone through Superhero Academy and working with me and all kinds of different stuff, and just some of the stuff that you've learned, how, some of the progressions that you've made and all that kind of stuff. And then Melanie, I'm going to take your question right after.
Hey guys. Yeah, so I've been working with Marc for about a year now, a little bit more than that. And yeah, I gotta say, being around him, definitely you could learn a lot picking up from this guy. It's definitely, I feel like, things that are quite important to know, and that sadly they don't teach you. They don't teach you this in university. I did 4 years. I studied engineering in university, and sure, I got a lot of technical skills, but then when it came to actually going out there with your idea, promoting it, building it out, they just kind of throw you off once you graduate. They're like, okay, bye guys, go have fun. And they're like, okay, where do I go? What do I do? And then I'm glad I found Valhalla Movement. Definitely a good group of people to spend time with and work out on projects and stuff. So we've been doing that. It's been a lot of fun, and I can only imagine what's around the corner. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, so Yannick also came on board with the Valhalla movement directly. We were kind of distant friends, somehow knew each other through, I don't even know exactly how we met, but we somehow knew each other.
Facebook.
We went to, yeah, Facebook and whatever else. And he ended up he ended up becoming one of my mentees. And I kind of took him under my wing and just started saying, hey, man, like, you're really awesome and talented. You're in school, you're doing all this stuff. But like, what about tangibly getting your own kind of source of income going, your own, projects going and getting different stuff off the ground? And he recently ended up buying a tiny home. He's got that project going on. He's part of Superhero Academy and Empowered and making money doing that kind of stuff now too. And he's kind of learned how to tell his own story. He's learned how to be able to empower himself via some of the things that you guys can learn via this class. So I would love to see, another success case, another person join in and make a festival like this, this person that I went to and you visited. Or I'd love to see, one of my buddies now started up as or one of our students started up as a transformation coach and helping people deal with some of their inner troubles and problems. And he's from Romania, and he earns a salary right now of like $500 a month, working his 9-to-5 bank job. And now, starting up in kind of like the coaching and helping, people transform career, he has the opportunity and is making, way more now than he could ever having not done something like this. Right. So the opportunity that came for him is incredible. I've got other, so many people, even in just the first wave of class, has been amazing. So your comment cut, well, we're still pretty disorganized. Yeah, your comment did cut there a little bit. Very happy to see that you guys did doc nights and stuff too. And I would love to see what you guys are going to do out there in Saint-Véronique, Mélanie. That would be really awesome to hear more about that. I would love to chat about that. So are there any other questions about the Valhalla movement, about Superhero Academy, maybe about this class, maybe about what your path might look like, or any questions that might be happening there, something that just is unclear to you, whether or not your path is clear to you, your mission is clear to you? Like what's going on in your kind of life, and how can I help support that? What kind of questions can I answer right now that will give clarity to that? I'm gonna grab a sip of water, stay hydrated. After all that traveling I've been doing, it's pretty hectic.
Yeah, drink water. It's good for you.
Lots of it. So any questions, comments? I know there's a little bit of a delay sometimes in the live video, and then your ability to kind of type out those questions and answer them. So maybe I'll give it a moment. Also, Joey, is there anything else you want to learn about the Sustainability Learning Center or what we're doing there?
I also want to add that we've been working on this for quite a while, but we still consider ourselves in like the early stages of this. So we're going to be building out a lot more as time moves on.
Yeah, for the classroom and stuff. Yeah, definitely. So Superhero Academy is a pretty young organization and kind of addition to the Valhalla movement. And we've just added these 8 classes so far. But like I said, in the next little bit, there's going to be 4 more entering that lineup, and hundreds more coming. We've got a whole bunch of guest teachers and people coming out in the next couple of months. And I'm meeting some of them tomorrow and the next day. Even though it's my birthday tomorrow, I'm still working I'm still following my passion and doing that kind of stuff. How are you able to create a movement, get people to follow you when you weren't exactly an expert at the time in the area of sustainability? So seriously, how that actually happened, no joke, is that what I did is publicly start my own story and commit to my vision and what I wanted to build, which was building a sustainability learning center. And from there, I was able to find a way to learn more and more and more. See, I didn't know about earthships. I didn't know about permaculture. I knew nothing about all of these things, but it's because I committed to it that people started sending me stuff like, hey, have you heard about permaculture? Or, oh, did you see this conference that's going on in Toronto with Michael Reynolds and earthships? And so then I went to the conference and I learned about it. And then I went to an event about, gardening. And then I went to a local garden center and we asked them if they were willing to sponsor our piece of land. I literally found the path and literally paved it as I walked it. And I believe that every successful person does that, because there's no way of you knowing the path. There's no way of you trying to be able to plan 5 years in advance and possibly knowing what's going to happen in the world, right? You don't know what's going to happen to you. You don't know what's going to happen in any given moment, more so than right here and right now, right? And if you adopt the mindset of learning, and if you start your own story and you let people know that you're committed and you change your title. So when somebody asks you, what do? You don't tell them your 9 to 5. You tell them this new thing that you're working on. Like I'm, running a sustainability movement called the Valhalla movement, for example. Then people start asking you about that. And then you start to become the expert. It's almost like a fake it till you make it scenario. And I wasn't faking it. I wasn't going out there and saying, I know everything. In fact, I'll still say I don't know everything. Okay. But I am now one of the world's leading experts on sustainable building and permaculture and all these things, because I spend every day learning about it. And now I get paid to fly around to go talk about it in all kinds of different locations and events happening around the world. And more of this opportunity is playing out. And so now I've been able to build a team. We built Superhero Academy with a group of people behind me. I'm the one in front of in this classroom right now, but there are tons of other people working on this and helping this out and building this up, because we understand that the fundamentals to your story, the fundamentals to you being empowered to doing what you want to do, is education, is knowledge. And if we can empower you with an education and with the knowledge that you need to start your story, to build your audience, to get people excited about what you're doing, now that's powerful. And that's exactly what this class teaches. And here's the thing, when we started Superhero Academy, we even want to find a way to make this class as free as possible. So we're actually, and this is, I shouldn't be telling you this, but when people commit, okay, we actually give you guys the opportunity. So when you sign up, we actually give you guys the opportunity to get all your money back if you find 2 more people to join and be a part of the class. Why? Because our mission is to make as many superheroes as possible. And our mission is to provide as free or as cheap as an education as we possibly can to empower people like you. And the easiest way to do that is to create win-win scenarios. The win is that you guys get to learn, and then you find other superheroes that might be willing to learn. And the more people that join, the better it is, obviously, for us, but the better it is for you guys and better it is for our planet. And it's the only win-win-win between, like, us as an organization, the planet, and you as an entrepreneur, or you as a kind of this new storyteller, this new kind of emerging power and force in your own life and in your own kind of mission. And that's the way that we're kind of moving forward. So that's, just another way that we're trying to help you guys out. Like, this is not about anything more than ensuring that more people have the courage to stepping up into their power. And like I said, you're 42% more likely to achieve your dreams if you write them down, but you're 100% more likely to achieve your dreams if you commit to them and you do it now. 100%, right? Because if you don't commit to them and you don't do it, you don't start doing it right now, today, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day after that, if you're not doing it and working on it right now, right here, right now, you're just wasting your time. Okay? Because you don't know what your time has in store for you. And it's just an excuse if you're not doing it. It's just an excuse to wait for the right moment later. That education, that knowledge comes to you now. So I really believe that there's a certain commitment that needs to happen. And I believe that the investment that people need to make into their own selves and their education actually needs to be a little bit scary. So I think it's very powerful that kind of stuff happens. Oh, that makes me think of a question. Through the Valhalla, do you have plans having Valhalla's land in other areas and countries? Yes, Pierre Paul, we do. So we already have plans to doing, we're going to be doing something in Vermont. That's for sure. We've got a kind of a piece of land and access to a piece of land there. We've had many, many, many people also reach out from all over the globe, from California, from New York, from Australia with land. And they are saying like, hey, we have land, but we need a movement. We need you guys to come here and build this community center or to build this kind of little community. And we're at the point now where we're building infrastructure to be able to do that. So one of the first things we have to do is build these housing designs so that we can ship and export these housing designs to be buildable anywhere in the world. So that was one of the steps. The other step is we wanted to be able to franchise out kind of our brand. So why not be able to create like Valhalla, instead of just Valhalla Montreal, why not be able to create Valhalla New York or Valhalla Australia or Valhalla, Los Angeles, and allow people to be able to kind of band as a community and do that. And the next thing is that we have to have education. We have to be able to teach the things that we know and accelerate the process of being able to start some of these communities. So there is no doubt about the fact that Valhalla will expand beyond Montreal. It's a conversation we've have pretty much weekly, and is growing and growing and growing. And right now, this and what we're doing right now, and even this classroom and this whole classroom system that you guys can have access to if you join this class, all of that is available to you and is kind of the groundwork or the blueprints for how we're going to make this movement spread and go further. Joey, tell us more about how your crowdfunding platform and advice on what has and has not worked for you. Okay, so the crowdfunding platform that we're using is a plugin that we're kind of customizing that is going to be built onto our platform. It's a WordPress plugin called Ignition Deck, but we're customizing it to be not more than just crowdfunding, but it's going to be crowdsourcing. We're going to allow people to not just have to donate their dollars, but they also be able to donate their time and energy or resources. Like, let's say, somebody has a solar panel they're willing to donate, or some used barn wood that we can use in our build. They can use that to kind of gain the rewards as well, because wealth isn't just measured in dollars and cents. Why not reward people who are putting their time and effort into these things too? So we're building that platform out. I mean, it's kind of hard to go into the details 110% on that. I will be going way more into the details of what works on crowdfunding in the class that I'm going to be giving in 2 weeks on this, and you'll have access to in the apprentice level. But what I can generally say works and doesn't work is you need a network. If you're gonna put out a crowdfunding campaign, you have to start with a network. You have to start with a story. People don't just donate to something without having a clear understanding of why they should, and why your business or enterprise or movement or organization, whatever you want to call it, okay, why that is something that they should support. Why is it a product that they want to possibly buy or pre-order? Why is it a service that they want to see happen and come to life? So the right story and the right audience, and understanding your audience and the need of those audiences, is the number one way that you can run a successful crowdfunding campaign. And that's what this 8-step class does. It teaches those exact same things, right? That's exactly what this is going out there to do. So, I'm going to send that link there one more time. But you can read through it, but these are the different things that you can learn very specifically. And we have helped, Valhalla has directly with our marketing team and our own campaigns. We've done 10 campaigns now. And out of 10, 9 of them have successfully funded. One of them wasn't successfully funded, not because of fault of our own, but in fact, because the client, if you want to call them that, actually kind of backed out and ended up canceling the campaign. But 9 of them worked out of 10, and we raised over $400,000 in those 9 campaigns collectively. So all together, there was about $400,000 that have been raised, and all of it was using these exact formulas and things that we're teaching in this class now. So we get asked every freaking day, hey, can you share a crowdfunding campaign? Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you help us with that? Hey, can you help us with your network? And part of my answer is like, well, the best way you can help you doing that is for you to learn this. I can give you the fish, or I can give you the fishing rod and teach you how. And I'd rather give you the fishing rod and teach you how, because that's what our world needs. We can't share every single crowdfunding campaign and have all of them come to fruition and success. And there's a certain amount of commitment that you guys have to make for this to work. And crowdfunding is not some magical thing or pill that you just throw out on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, and now all of a sudden a whole bunch of people are going to give you $100,000. There is a lot of effort. I've spent we're building a crowdfunding campaign right now, and I'm spending the better part of 6 months building it, if not longer. Okay, so it takes time to build something like this. Now we're doing a crowdfunding campaign for $500,000 to build a public community center, and also e-course and ebooks and all kinds of different stuff that are going to come from, you know, these buildings and all these different rewards that we're going to give out. But it is not something to be taken lightly, and it does take a lot of time and effort and energy to do. But it is doable. Don't let me, you know, I'm not trying to discourage it in any way. It's totally doable, but with a good story. Any other questions? Pour myself some more water here. So, look, guys, I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer to take some of your questions. All I want to end with is, we could show you the door. All right. We could show you where the road to Rome is, right? We could show you the path. We could show you all these different things, but we cannot walk you through it. We cannot do this for you. Okay. You have to be your own hero. You guys have to step up and be the person that you want to be, or else you're not going to have that passion otherwise. And I'm not saying we're the only way. You can do this on your own too. I'm just saying that we can help accelerate that, and we can be there to support that. And I know that is worth everything, because I've invested in myself. I currently still invest in myself, and that's the way forward for sure. Could you tell us more about other success stories from your Super Academy students? Yeah, sure. So I spoke to one of them today. Her name is Jenna Knight. She now started something called Clarity Nutrition. She works, right now, she's still kind of transitioning out of her 9-to-5. She works at like making like a couple of dollars, you know, like a minimum, very low amount wage per hour on a per hour basis. And I won't discuss exactly how much she makes, because out of respect. But, you know, she's working a very regular job, anything special, selling supplements. And she's actually a very well kind of trained nutritionist, and very, very good at kind of the whole healthy lifestyle, you know, working out, eating right, all that kind of stuff. And she has now got her first client. So she joined the class, did the 8-week class, and then we did a couple of key sessions here and there. And she got her first client in, I believe, 10 weeks from the time that she started. So from day one, which is, let's say today for you, she joined the class, and 10 weeks later, she had her first client. Now, here's the thing. You guys will have access to the class, and you can watch all these classes in 8 hours. You don't have to wait for 8 weeks. In her case, we did a class that was online, like one-on-one. It was a little bit more of an investment and time investment and stuff that people had to make, but I had to record the classes, and we kind of did them live, and then answered questions at the end after. But now you guys can download this stuff in minutes. Like, you can start having this game plan boil down to you you can do this in a couple of days, a couple of weeks. And then once you start doing these challenges and putting all of this stuff together, because every single week there's a challenge, and every single class has a challenge that helps you guys not just learn about this stuff, but actively physically do it, and actually physically make this kind of stuff in reality happen. And she got her first client in a couple of weeks, and her first client was now $100 an hour. So she went from like a couple of dollars an hour to $100 an hour, and she's well on her way to having a full-time job doing this. It's only been a few weeks now, but 10 weeks after, 2 weeks after the class ended, she had her first client, and she didn't have a website, she didn't have a brand, she didn't have anything, she had no story, and now she goes around, and instead of saying that she's a 9-to-5er working at this job supplement store or whatever, she now goes around saying, I'm a health and wellness coach and a self-love coach, and I help people, get onto the path of being healthy and making their things happen. We also have other students like, one of the Valhalla members, Vivian. She just started up her business, a soil sampling business. She was going from like making, I don't know, a couple of dollars an hour as well, working for some different companies and like part-time jobs here and there, and essentially hustling, okay, hustling around to pay her bills and scrambling every month to do that kind of stuff. And now she just started up her own soil analysis business, and she's lining up to make six-figure salary this year, right? So she's a student, and when somebody's been working directly with me over the last couple of months and building this kind of stuff up, and she's learned tons just in kind of following some of our footsteps, asking me a whole bunch of questions all the time. And you guys have access to this too. You guys can ask me a question at any given moment, like I said. Yeah, Yannick or True wrote, Viv was a true hustler, and now she's kicking some serious ass. Yeah, she really is. She totally is kicking some serious ass. Actually, I'm very, very proud of her stepping up into the business and all that kind of stuff. Okay, you're right. Thanks for the info tonight. So I'm really interested in Center and the crowdfunding site, and I'm interested in chatting more about this, but I'm actually in the UK and it's 2 a.m. here. I sign out. Joey, man, if you want to learn more about crowdfunding and all that kind of stuff, we'll be teaching it soon, man. So do consider. Athena, any success stories from students in your class that are especially young, college freshmen, high school? So all these people that I'm talking about are actually pretty damn young. We had one of our students, his name is Brendan. He I believe like turned 18 while we were taking the class. He was taking the class, sorry. And he has got a little bit more clarity on what he's doing. He is still in school. He's, I believe kind of coming out of high school and stuff like that. I can't remember the exact story. And people are just coming out and he's making these things happen. And now he's kind of going after, his goal is to make an art space in his community. And he just moved. So he kind of got a little bit delayed on that. But he's constantly working at it, and I know he's in conversations about this stuff, and he's making this kind of stuff happen. So it's pretty interesting. I know also Emmanuel, the guy who is in Romania. He just turned 23. Literally, his birthday is today, actually. He's somebody who I'm now working with on a one-on-one basis. So he took the class and then also now joined and actually is doing one-on-one private coaching with me. And he just started something up called Guided Transformations. We launched this last week, so only a couple of weeks, and now he's launched his company called Guided Transformations, transforming people, and he's making $500, less than $600 a month, doing his 9 to 5, working full time in Romania, and now he's going after clients, and he's chasing opportunities where he'll make $500 a month from one client. Okay. And so he's at that position where we just, like I said, we launched this last Monday? Yeah, last Monday. So not the Monday just passed, the Monday before that. So it's been it's been like 10 days since we've launched, and he's already got on numerous calls, and he's going after numerous leads on this front, and he's stepping up every single moment. And I would love to, invite you guys to talk to some of these people if you want. If you're on the fence or whatever, by all means, continue to ask me questions. You can ask Yannick here. Yannick is a success story, or True's a success story. He went from having no real job, in school, not really sure what he was going to do. And now he has a stake in Superhero Academy. He now literally has a job where he helps out one of these garden centers that we go to one day a week. And he's making a couple $1,000s a month just working that one day a week. Not even, it's like a couple of hours a week doing that kind of work. And we kind of, the title of systems architect was something that we invented, right? Who invents your title? We invented it for him. He now adopts it, and now he's a systems architect. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that he sets up systems that allows people like you, that if you start your business or enterprise, that things are automatically happening, that things are automatically working. So for example, there's people who signed up to this webinar because we had just kind of had it on our website and we hadn't promoted it. But people got an automatic email letting them know, hey, by the way, the class is live, or it's about to start, or whatever it is. And all of that kind of work, all these different systems have been set up by Yannick, including this webinar, so that I can just show up, teach, do what I do best, and he can help support people like me and support people like you to do those kind of things. So we've had, we've just started this classroom out, and we've had numerous success cases on so many different levels. And I work with people on, on some of my private coaching stuff, I charge $2,000 a month. Okay, so I'm giving you guys access to information for life that I work with people directly and charge $2,000 a month to do. Okay, so forget $500 once or $497 once. This is $2,000 a month. Now, people get that value, and the reason they're willing to pay $2,000 a month, and the reason I've paid $2,000 a month and more to coaches and to mentors that I've had, is because at the end of the day, I make it back. I make it back because what I'm doing is empowering myself with this knowledge and getting to my goals faster and faster and faster. So I don't think anymore in terms of like, oh, how am I going to make $400 this month? I think way bigger than that. And I don't think about that first. I don't think about the how. I don't think about what I'm going to do to sell them on something. I think about why is this important? Why is this important to the world? And why is this contributing to my mission? And what is the best way that I can contribute to my mission and create more superheroes and change the world? And my answer to that was teaching. And so I started Superhero Academy. All right, guys, just a couple more questions. I would really love to see you guys join the class. I really believe that now is the time, guys. Waiting is just not going to get you anywhere, and nobody's going to do this for you. The lottery, can't wait and sit there on the lottery. Can't wait for things to just fall into your lap. Like I said earlier, we could show you the door, but we can't walk it through it for you. And here's the other thing. If for some reason this doesn't work, and I totally forgot to mention this, if for some reason you do not like this, it's 100% money back guaranteed. If for some reason you join the class and you're like, you know what, I learned nothing. I took all these classes. I learned absolutely nothing. This is total bullshit. Give your money back. So you literally have nothing to lose. Okay. This is the kind of investment you make in yourself. And if this doesn't appeal to you, if you didn't learn anything, I will give you your money back. All right. So riskless scenario. This is, it doesn't get better than this, guys. Even if you went to school, if you don't learn nothing in school, you still have to pay the tuition. All right. And I know you Americans are paying thousands and thousands of dollars, and even Canadians are paying thousands and thousands of dollars per semester, let alone, this is something you guys can learn very quickly. And this will empower you for life. And trust me, I went to school. I did it, double major, marketing and entrepreneurship. I learned jack shit compared to what I learned doing this stuff and working with the right people. So yeah, forgot to mention that money back guarantee. All right, guys. So, one last question came in there. Okay, so I'm going to answer this question. If there's no more questions, I'm going to end it there. All right, guys. Can you build a website and share your work with a large number of people with little money behind you and not crowdfund? I'm about to go traveling on a shoestring budget, but I believe in my goals and would love to be able to work on my mission as soon as possible through this. Can you build I built the Valhalla movement and built a team and all of this stuff with $0 and 0 cents in my pocket. We started with nothing but a story. And we took that story and we went to the garden center and we got people to sponsor us. We built a website and I basically pro bono said, hey, can you build us a website? And in exchange, I'll find you some work and I'll find some people to buy web services and development services off of you. I created win-win scenarios. And these are all things that I teach in this class. This is totally doable with no money, but it is not doable without a good story. No matter how much money actually you have, and even if you had millions of dollars, if you don't have a good story, it's going to totally flop. So I would say that it's actually worth more to have a good story, to be empowered, to understand your audience, to document, to do all these different things that we teach in this class, and crowdfunding and all these things if you want to, okay? And it's also not doable without a team, but all of these things are doable if you commit to it. And you have to commit to it. This cannot be something you're doing on the side randomly, it's just some project that you're like kind of doing. No, you have to commit to it. So if you're not committing to it, look, be ready to fail. But if you're willing to seriously step up and make this kind of stuff happen, and you're really serious about being a social entrepreneur, you're really serious about making this stuff happen and making these projects kind of manifest in your life, and you want to be empowered by it, if you're really willing to do that, then you'll make it. I fully trust that. All right. You'll see me. All right, M. Boom. Super happy to see that, man. I'm very happy to have you join, and would love to learn more about your story. And maybe we'll add you when you sign up. We'll add you on Slack, and we'll have a private chat to see what's up. I'd love to hear a little bit more about what your guys are doing there and what you got going on. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you so much for considering these different things. And if you guys want to learn more about the impossible list, how you guys can write this stuff down, what kind of storytelling, you guys can check out superheroacademy.net. There's tons of information there on the blogs and other stuff. There's so much kind of going on. We've got all kinds of videos and challenges and different things that are free to you. And like I said, if you guys join this class, it is 100% risk-free, but there is no better time than right here and right now to be your own hero. So thank you very much. Much love, much appreciation. And we will talk soon, and we'll take any questions that you guys have. You guys can write to us on superheroacademy.net and just check it out there. All right, guys? Thank you so much, and enjoy. Thanks, Yannick.